Yes, we can. Just so you guys know, I have another meeting I have to be at 11. But I'll probably be back probably within an hour. So it's good that we're recording this. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, sure, Zach. I think the first half was just to introduce ourselves and set up the environment and plan for what we're going to do for next 3 days. And I mean, the agenda is flexible, so feel free to suggest some changes and just what I just put from top of my mind. And so, though we have done the introductions earlier on that day, but I'm not sure if everybody understood due to the quality of the call. So probably we just have one round of introduction now. Maybe starting with Venkat.
Okay, hi, this is Venkat, and I'm working for Brigade in R&D Center in Chennai. So base office is in Santa Clara, and I have basically around 13 years of experience in networking, mostly in the following place. So
Right.
I'm good to have you here.
Okay, good. Okay, so myself, Vishwanath, you can call me Vishwa. So I am working in Verizon as an SDN architect, and my relation with ON.Lab is on two more. So one is on the individual contribution, wherein I just contribute some brigades, and right now I just stepped up to lead this brigade. And I'm also involved in MCOD activities, officially by Verizon, contributing with Intel and other folks. And yeah, hoping to take this brigade to some level wherein we could do some solid contribution for care release. And I'm basically an OS and system networking guy. So my previous experiences was more on routers and switches on the network operating system side. And right now I'm working on SDN control applications and trying to create solutions for the business problems that we have in Verizon. Yeah, and that's it about me. Right.
Yeah, so I'm Brian O'Connor. I've been working on ONOS since more or less the beginning. So I guess I've kind of been all over the code base.
You can
and
see that.
yeah, lately, well, not lately, but part of that has been kind of helping to cobble together pieces of the build infrastructure, development environment, test infrastructure, et cetera. So I think I'm here more kind of as a mentor, and trying to make sure that I can pass the information that we have, some of the rationale, if there was any, for the various decisions that were made, and ultimately trying to make this successful, and it'd be good to have you guys on board. So.
Sure. Thank you. So Zach or Alexis, anyone want to go further?
Go ahead. I'm a fairly a recent addition. I've been working mainly on Cord, mainly handling the build process on there. So my involvement in this is to help understand the Brigade process, because we're looking at implementing that in Cord, and also I have some specific skills about dealing with or working with Jenkins, and also with using repo as it's being used in Cord. So I hope to be able to learn a lot, and I hope to be able to give a lot back. My history is I did a lot of operations work, but I am doing a lot of systems programming and tool creation to facilitate either build process. I know Cord uses Ansible a lot, so I'm sort of the subject matter expert on Ansible in that regard.
Okay.
So that's not. Some of this is going to be cross applicable. Some of this is going to be. I have different skills, so. So that's me, and I'm in Tucson. ON.Lab is actually thinking that for at least for part of the Cord project, we might end up having an ON.Lab satellite office in Tucson, probably within the next 6 months to a year. So
that's great. Yeah. So ON.Lab is expanding then.
Going global.
Well, we can get it all together. We have people moving around, so.
We've got the Roswell contingent. We've got a one-man satellite in Italy.
Okay. So why don't you get expanded in India then?
I mean, talk to Bill.
Okay. All right. Yeah, thanks, Zach.
All right, I guess it's my turn now.
Yeah.
I am Alexis Munyandekwe. I'm based here in France. I'm working for a company called Aritron. And I'm currently working in Orange on cloud products. There are products which are related to OpenStack. But I've known ONOS since last year because I implemented an application on top of ONOS when I was doing my internship. And the interest continued to grow, and I was really excited to attend the last ONOS build in Paris. I decided to join the ambassador program, and currently I'm in 2 brigades. One is teaching brigade, another one is this one here. So I'm hoping really to learn a lot and of course to contribute through coding and on this part of DevOps. So that's all for me.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we are done with introduction. So I think we can go over the agenda once and I'll just get all your consensus. So the first day is more on the overview or introduction to all the bits and pieces that we have put for the case release. So post-lunch, probably Brian can take us through the existing build system and probably the path of almost like you would have started with OSGA, then would move to Maven, and then you moved to Bug recently, and then you could take us through the challenges that you faced, and what are the gaps that the current build system have, and what is the vision for your next gen build system. So whatever.
Sure. Yeah. No. Happy to do that. Yeah. For the points today, I mean, I can largely speak to most of them except for Gitbook. I don't have much experience working with building documentation in Gitbook, but
okay.
I can certainly talk about sort of the evolution of Jenkins, Maven build, how we use OSGI, all that stuff.
All right, cool. So Venkat, can you take us through the Gitbook documentation? Like, do you have any idea, or do you want someone from ON.Lab to take?
I don't have much read on Gitbook, but okay, based on the customer need, I'll be taking data into Gitbook as a community.
Okay. Or else you could share some, I mean, you should be having some vision of how a documentation should look like because from whatever experiences you have.
It is what I have. It is when I'm trying to browse the wiki of ONOS, like, okay, it's not, I mean, I may be wrong, but it's not like, okay, we don't have a direct test about a particular new person entering a particular field.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have a clear-cut defined rules or the instructions where I can, from where I can pick the ONOS field.
Yeah, you'll have to spend some time in searching.
So if you don't have some sort of experience or expertise, okay, the wiki is trying to help us. But if I'm a completely new guy and if I want to act on it, it's slightly, I think, I feel the wiki what we are maintaining in our ONOS is not helping us much. So we try to avoid that particular loophole. We try to focus on better documentation, which I'll be taking complete responsibility for as far as Brigade.
I think you definitely hit on a need.
Yeah.
So
this was also one of the points that the people are talking in the teaching brigade, and that they felt that the wiki is not really helpful for the new beginner, like those who already have some experience in moving around and stuff like that. Like, I mean, even if you go and search in the search bar, then probably the search results are not really meaningful for some search terms.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's good. So probably after that, we could talk about what is the objective and scope for this build and package infrastructure. Like, what is the expectation out of this? This is probably a much condensed version of the doc that we have shared earlier. just to get things online. And probably if you guys have some doubts, we have Brian and we have Thomas here. We could get him, right?
Yeah. Thomas said he can join.
Yeah.
For when we want.
Yeah. So probably you could help us understand some terms, or what is his view of the brigade should be doing and stuff like that. So with that one, I think we can wrap up this day. And moving tomorrow, we'll start with deep dives on key release items. So the first half we'll just go over whatever items that we have planned the other day. I mean, the kickoff meeting happened for key release, and then I have just signed up for 4 to 5 items as part of key release. So we could go over the item, try to brainstorm, and you guys can ask some questions if you have, or we could also plan the next coming weeks for this key release, and then probably that slot is there for us to actually sit and plan, since I mean, we have the whole team here, so it will be a good opportunity for us to plan. So that on pre-lunch. On post-lunch, we will dive. We'll have a deep dive into bugs. So there are some some items in the bug, something like buglets, or how an existing form file can be converted into a bug file. Probably we could take a Hello World program and try to see, like, if at all I am a Maven developer and here is my app, and how I should go about in converting that Maven-based app into a bug-based app, or if some new, for example, let's take the dynamic config brigade, like they are coming up with a new project and then they are asking some help in actually converting their project into a bug-based project, then I think we should be in a position to take that up. So we'll have that kind of session. And then we'll have this code disaggregation overview, like why do we think the code has to be disaggregated, what are the pros and cons, and how is the way to go about it. And then probably Zach, if you're available on tomorrow 4 to 5 p.m. PST, then probably you could take us through how repo works, and probably you could give a Hello World demo if that's possible.
Yeah, I can do that.
Great, yeah. So that would be the end of second day. And third day, the first half is reserved for Jenkins so that Zach can take part. That's exclusively. Probably you can invite Ray on that day.
Yeah, I think he should be. He's out today, but he should be around Wednesday. So.
Cool. Yeah. So
I am likely to miss most of Thursday morning, but
Thursday morning. Thursday.
Thursday morning.
Oh, this is Wednesday, no?
Yeah, Wednesday, right?
Wednesday morning. Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct. Because I have another meeting I have to be on. But I'll just rely on people to take good notes and have recordings for that.
Would it make sense to move the
some items to the queue stream?
Well, yeah. I mean, if I don't know. I mean, if Zach and Alexis can be here in the morning and we can get Ray tomorrow to talk about that.
Yeah.
I mean, would it make sense to move that to tomorrow and then do the brainstorming, the K tasks on? I guess it's sort of a chicken and egg, right? Like, I think you wanted to push that earlier so that we could make sure people understand what the K release tasks are and what they mean. But I think it's difficult to kind of understand or plan before people understand the details, right?
Yeah.
So,
as we could move some item post lunch of tomorrow to the third day. Probably we could move all the bug related items to the third day, if Zach is available. So Zach, are you available? I think, but 1 p.m. PST will be like too late for Zach, too late for Alex.
For Alexis, yeah, too late.
Okay.
I'm just busy between 10 and 1 on Wednesday. That's the only really hard thing that I have going on.
Well, so Zach, are you? I mean, I know Cord uses pipeline, right? Are you?
We are, but honestly, that's not. I don't have a lot of. I'm interested in that section because I'd like to use pipeline going forward for both ONOS and for Cord. I don't have a huge amount of experience using it.
All right.
Okay, then let's wrap. So let's Wednesday first half swap to Tuesday first half.
Okay. I have to run. I'm in a meeting for another probably about an hour, but I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
Okay.
yes, you.
Yeah, we'll probably be back online. We'll have lunch from 12 to 1, but at 1 o'clock.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah. See you later. Bye bye. See you later. All right. So get this.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's Alexis and Zach and are both interested, and the only overlapping slot they have is Tuesday morning.
So if I understand very well, you're putting this on Thursday?
No, we are
Thursday
swapping
morning?
the Wednesday. We are swapping the Wednesday slot with Tuesday. Well, are you seeing my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So this is how
Okay.
this plan is. Is it
Okay,
okay?
you are just shuffling shuffling the timetable. It's okay. It will work. It will work.
Okay.
Yes, because I have taken off days off, like in the morning, tomorrow and after tomorrow, and I guess probably the day which is going to be very hard will be Thursday morning. Yeah, Thursday morning, because I didn't take any day off from my job. So, but it will be okay. It will be okay. On the last day, probably I will not participate in the, well, of course, the team building, the wrap up. I will leave just after the, before the break, after Gitbook, after the deep dive of Gitbook. No, Wednesday. I will have to leave.
Alex, it's like we'll be recording all the sessions, so feel free to just hop in any session that you would like to attend. But anyway, all the sessions will be recorded and available for you to look after.
That is great.
And Brent, like, can we have this more like would this GoToMeeting work for next 3 days, or we'll have to just go ahead and reserve some slots?
So I have it reserved for today and tomorrow.
Okay.
We might be able to use a different account on Wednesday.
Okay.
This link, put it recurring, so we should be able to just re-enter the meeting.
Okay. Sure. And how soon that we could put this out in YouTube?
It takes like about half the meeting time to convert to video, and then
Okay.
so like within like an hour or two of the end of the meeting,
Okay.
we can convert it.
Okay, cool. Then that's okay, I think, so that they can actually take a look at it. Right. And for the Hello World demos, like, do you think that we should, regarding the development environment, do you think we should have something up and running, or can we connect to some servers, or is it okay if we just bring up ONOS in our own respective laptops for you to demo or take us through the code? How do we plan our development environment for next 3 days?
Oh, like development that like we're gonna do work in, you mean? Probably just the laptops, and I mean, if we need to, there's some virtual infrastructure.
We can go ahead and use it. Okay.
I mean, it depends on what you mean by that, but I mean, I think, yeah, more or less getting people set up in the platforms they're going to be using to do development going forward.
It was like I meant something like this, right? So suppose you're teaching us how to convert a form to bug, then probably it'd be a Hello World program then, so that we could just go ahead and try it. So do you think like everyone can just bring up their own development environment that we do back home, or you have something set up already so that we can just, since we are on the same land, we can just get into that and try that quickly?
I mean, the development environment, we have like some VMs and stuff that are like pre-configured to accept ONOS installs, and we'll give you like a cell definition.
Okay.
That's if you wanted to like deploy a cluster.
Okay.
But if you just want to do the Hello World demo in Buck, I mean, yeah, I mean, we could spin up a VM or something if that's required, but if you have a VM on your laptop, that'd be sufficient.
Okay. Cool. And for the Jenkins also we can follow the same stuff because Jenkins current job deep dive is demo output. So probably I would the expectation is the expectation for Ray is to take us through a live job and then like this is how a Jenkins job is created, this is how it provides artifacts, and here's the build. And if at all we want to write our own Jenkins pipeline, this is where we have to go. So for that purpose, do you think the VM that we have would suffice? Then I'm okay.
Also, I mean, the question is whether you want to run Jenkins yourself, right?
Yeah, I think we all would because going forward should be maintained.
Well, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, you could bring up a Jenkins instance on your laptop if you wanted to.
Okay.
But we were actually talking about actually spinning up a second Jenkins. I don't know what we call it, Jenkins 2 or project or something.
Okay.
Which would be kind of like a playground for this type of stuff.
Yeah, if that can be doable, that will be awesome. Okay, can just take some action. One is to build up some kind of what to say, a demo playground for Jenkins. And for bugs, I think whatever I said is hopeful, right? Like we could use our own development environment to just convert from form files to bug files. And,
yeah.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. So now that we have swapped the Wednesday item to Tuesday, so just go over after post lunch. So Wednesday post lunch, we could talk about the Brigade governance, like how are we going to plan for our meetups? Like, is it going to be a weekly call or a bi-weekly call, or I mean, there is already a Slack channel open for us, and there is a mailing list open, so we could even collaborate there. So it's up to us to decide. So I just leave that option open for the Brigade to decide like what is the mode that you want to take. So you just propose me whether can we have a weekly call or bi-weekly call, stuff like that, and then probably we could have some ON.Lab folks to explain like how they use Jira to track the sprints, like what are the state changes, like if at all we make some change, and what is the process in Jira that we have to follow, and what are the cutoff dates, what should be our role in the sprint demo, whatever. So just to get to know their process, and after that we could take a deep dive in Gitbook. So probably if Venkat can share some of his some kind of a small note, like probably you could take some what to say, we could take a quick start in wiki and then just convert it into a Gitbook format, and then you could show that to us.
Sure.
That can be one Gitbook deep dive, and then we have some slots open on Wednesday, so probably we do some team building activity. But yes, we have only 2 members here.
Yeah.
So that's it. So I think we are set for next 3 days. Any other changes on the plan?
Not different, but just keep in mind that when we are here, so what exactly the expectations and what are the milestones what we have and how we are going to meet it in the mitigation plan. Okay, if something goes wrong, that how we are going to mitigate the particular task. Basically. I mean, to be honest, like, I'm not sure about that. I hope that we are going to discuss in the planning schedule what are the deadlines and what we are going to take as part of that stage.
Okay. I mean, actually, the way I parsed your first comment was what people wanted to get out of the week. Yeah, and then the next thing is like what are the plans, deliverables, etc. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, right? But my goal for this week is to make sure that like as many new people as possible are up to speed on like the way things currently work and the rationale for that. And so that's one of my objectives. And the other is to make sure that going forward, we have at least a plan in place. If there's no like actual work that happens this week, like no actual JIRA tickets that get closed for the delivery of these things, that's kind of okay with me, because I think I sort of view this as more of like an opportunity to share knowledge. But that's sort of how I was approaching the week, but I don't know if that's different from your expectations.
No, it's in line, at least with mine. Like the expectation of this week is to understand more about ON.Lab's way of doing things. Since we would have already contributed as part of a brigade, but running a brigade is totally different ball game. So I think I take this opportunity to have some deep dives on some of the work items and then get the process from ON.Lab folks so that we could just start running a sprint thing and try and see how it works.
And about other team members, that okay, if we have once a week, 1 hour call, that should be preferable. Bi-weekly, maybe like sometimes we may feel too late to we can schedule a meeting any point of time, but once in a week for the 1 hour strict, that should be quite followed. We can follow up the staff. We don't want to miss more than a week. If not, we have to do something.
Yeah, and sometimes these calls get canceled for various reasons, and so if you cancel a bi-weekly call, then it's once a month.
Like once a month, yeah.
Yeah.
So once
it gives you some flexibility. If you have to skip one or something, it's not
right.
But the next one is next week.
So we can skip a weekly meeting, but not a bi-weekly meeting. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Probably you can discuss like you'll ask their availability and what time works for all, because they have people from 3 different time zones.
Yeah. We need to be. It is we are okay with the daylight for another 6 months. So whatever time we are going to agree on, I think we are going to stick for next 6 months. Which is October will be exact.
Okay, so that's it for development environment. So for all the bug grader items, we'll be using our own laptops, and for Jenkins and I don't know about repo. For Jenkins,
repo is similar. You can probably use your own laptop.
okay.
I think it's a series of Python scripts or something, so it'll run locally.
Okay. So for bug and repo, we use our own laptop, and for Jenkins, Brian is going to spin up a test bed or something like Brigade where we could start writing scripts and do stuff like that. We're good. So probably we'll meet after lunch for introduction to ONOS build system by Brian. Probably he would use the same PPT that he used for ONOS.
Oh yeah. Maybe I'll draw something in the whiteboard.
All right, Ashish. So you can drop off now, and then you can just dial back 1 p.m. PST.
All right. See you later then.
Yeah. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.